JockMKT! What's up? You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready to talk some fantasy?
I'm ready to talk some fantasy.
Everybody else, if you're with us, drop your questions, comments below to the side. If you're on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Fatchabook, wherever you are.
What's your book?
Yeah, Fatcha. It's Italian for face.
Oh, baby's not happy.
You can hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let me just... she wanted to take part in the festivities.
Is she?
Yeah, big time. Jakey, let's talk about tonight. Let's get into the Thursday night game real quick because I got an interesting question from a friend who's asking, and it's not a starter-sit question, it's who's going to do better, Christian Kirk or Tyler Lockett. I thought it was very interesting considering how bad Seattle's been on defense, and you know how Christian Kirk can, I think Brandon Howard wrote about it, how he can just fly tonight. Go.
What are we going on? Do we even think that Tyler Lockett's going to play tonight? We still have to see if that's the case. So right. He's less than 100%. I'm still going to play Tyler Lockett over Christian Kirk every single time. But I mean, it's not out of the question. Actually, Kirk's been better. So, if you want to go that route, that's certainly fine. It's just whether you talk about Christian Kirk is basically doing the same thing. I guess maybe that's the conversation we'd have to have in general. Like, what's the difference between Lockett and Kirk at this point?
I don't know. I think people are not that he's coasting on fumes of successes past, but I don't think people have given a second thought to maybe Lockett's not doing so great.
Well, I think it's just because you're always worried about missing the big game from Lockett. Although Christian Kirk's hit plenty of big games recently. But he doesn't have the 30-point games. He doesn't have that Lockett where he wins you a league. Like Lockett getting 3 touchdowns legitimately is that's a chance that could happen every single week. I'm looking at Kirk's. I'm trying to pull him up to see what his biggest games were so far this year. If I can find them.
Didn't Kirk have one big game this year?
Yeah, I mean, he had one big game last year too. He has 2. He has 20. So he just went quiet against Buffalo, but 21, 18, and 21 the 3 weeks prior to that. But then heading into that, it was the 7, 9, and 10. You're thinking of last year where he had the 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's what I'm thinking of is last year.
But see, even
together, Jake.
Even with all of that, and even with Tyler Lockett's still way ahead of him. So I think that's just why. Tyler Lockett's still 6th on the season because Tyler Lockett has 13, 16, 32, and 45. But the thing is, outside of that 45, every single other game is single digits since week 4.
You know who I'm super hot on right now, and I think you can tell from this morning, is Kenyon Drake. I was going through Kenyon Drake numbers, Jake, and he's been good, man. And he gets a lot of carries relative to other running backs. I know people think he's a disappointment because he's not, he didn't put up the end of first round numbers like he should have, but he's been good. Like, if you got a little time left on your trade deadline, you might be able to sneak him through.
He's been okay.
He's been good.
No, last time against Seattle, he stunk.
I'm not talking about just tonight. I'm talking about for weeks 13, 14, 15, 16 when you're going to need him the most.
Yeah, but I'm also talking about so far this season. He also didn't show up against Detroit and Carolina, 2 of the worst run defenses in the league. That's the problem with Kenyon Drake. He's split in the backfield, and if this gets pass happy, it's going to be more Chase Edmonds. I actually have Chase Edmonds 1 spot in front of Drake this week because of it.
Hold on, Jake. Now it's my turn to pull things up.
Okay.
Don't use that out of context.
You're going to go back and look at the Detroit and Carolina game?
No, I'm looking at my Drake. I'm looking at what I wrote about Drake. Hasn't been involved in the passing game, averaging 4.5 yards per carry for the season on an average of 16.9 carries per game, which is 8th in the NFL. Drake has 26 red zone rushing attempts, which is 6th in the NFL, and that's with him missing week 9.
And?
I
just told you he also has the 3 single-digit performances, barely over double digits. He rarely scores double digits without a touchdown.
All right, well,
you can have all the Drake.
All right, I will.
I want none of the Drake. I hated the Drake this year, and I still hate the Drake this year.
The title for that one is 2020's Kenyon Drake. Wait. Yeah, Kenyon Drake is... I forget what it was. It was clever because it was like Kenyon Drake is Kenyon Drake. Here we go, Jake. This year's Kenyon Drake is Kenyon Drake. Sam Frater saw Meany said that Rigor is better than Fulgham. I think he's trying to start some beef between you and our good friend Chris Meany, Jake.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that he means is a 1-week play. Otherwise, Chris Meany's off his rocker. He's been hanging out in the woods. He's been hanging out in the woods too much out in there in Nowhereville, Canada.
He's not literally in the woods, though. You're just making fun of him for having a nice home in the suburbs.
It's not the suburbs. He literally asked him.
It's like Manitoba. I know. Timothy Mozgov picked up famous Jameis, but are we concerned about Taysom Hill?
No, stop with this. This is so annoying. Not sorry, Timothy, but whoever this person is, I'm tired of this question.
All right.
Why is everybody thinking Taysom Hill is going to be that much more involved because we switched into Jameis Winston?
I don't know, because he has been a little bit involved here and there, I think.
And he's been a little bit involved with it. The fact that Taysom Hill wasn't the quarterback in that game, Drew Brees got hurt in game. They didn't go to Taysom Hill. They went to Jameis Winston. Just because I'm like, seriously, people don't pick up Jameis Winston.
Next question before you lose it. Sleep Oliver has a question. Who to start a 2 wide receiver? Fuller, Cooks, Evans, AB.
Well, I mean, check the link. What do we do? We do this every single time.
I know, but I mean,
Fuller, and you probably want. I mean, the 2 highest are Fuller and Cooks.
If he wants to, can he start Evans and Antonio Brown?
No, I wouldn't do that.
All right.
No, definitely wouldn't do that. Why would you want to do that?
Well, I don't know. Basically, my question is it safe to start 2 guys on the Bucks?
No, why you would start the 2 guys in the Texans?
All right, fair enough.
But Will Fuller's the must. Will Fuller's been double digits every single week.
Yeah. Although they got the Patriots this week, are they gonna?
Doesn't matter. Patriots defense. No, Patriots defense is not good this year.
Yeah, but they always just shut down that one.
No,
guy.
They're not good this year.
Next question. Oh, look at that, Jake. Great Eckler interview. Make sure you check it out. It was really good. It's in the description. We linked it in the description for everybody.
Did you
want me to say thanks, Kevin? All right, no, never mind. We'll just keep moving on.
I thought you were just going on. I didn't know there was extra comment needed.
AJ Brown or Jacoby Myers in the PPR league, Jake?
It's AJ Brown. I'm not benching AJ Brown after one off game.
Jacoby Myers been pretty good, right?
We've talked about Jacoby Myers.
But
you said that's your boy. Yeah, we have, because I told people to pick him up for like 3 weeks in a row.
That's
AJ
true.
Brown had one bad game. He had a touchdown in every single game before, like 5 or 6 in a row, and we're gonna bench AJ Brown because of one bad game.
Yes. No. All right. Richie's got some questions. I need deep sleeper running back with Singletary on bye. 12.
Did you just call him Richie?
Yeah. RITIJ. Rittage. Jake, do you wear glasses? Maybe someone else out there wears glasses, and then when you switch to contacts after wearing your glasses for a few hours in the morning, it's like you can't, you gotta old man yourself all the way in.
Okay.
Anyway, Ritij, deep sleeper, Jake. I think we're beyond the J.D. McKissicks at this point.
I'm not trying to be rude to however you say it, Rittage, or how you say his first name,
Ritij.
But it's these questions. I don't know who's available.
Yeah, but come on, think of a couple of deep sleepers.
No, I have sleepers I don't know who's available. Go down the rankings, and then when you see the first person who's available, pick them up. I'm not trying to be glib about it, but
sounds like you are a little bit.
No, because what if I said Gus Edwards because he could still maybe get a touchdown, but then at 35 I have Jordan Wilkins who's out there. That's what I'm saying. Is I don't want to sell him short. I don't want to pick somebody so deep and then be like, "Whoa, why didn't you tell me to start blah blah blah? Who you have 10 spots higher?"
All right, fair. So, Ritij, here's what you do: go to Jake's column, follow that link at the bottom here, and then just take whatever deal it is, and then just if you don't want to pay, just cancel before the deal's up, before you get auto renewed.
And then if you find
that'll make Jake a happier man.
And then if you have 3 guys you see and you're not sure which one, then ask me that in the comments. I answer all the comments.
All the comments. Jake even answered how to pronounce his name in one of the comments today. Here we go from Grant Smith.
Like the mattress.
This is going to take me a little while. Looks like he's got a trade.
You didn't have to put this up here.
James Robinson and Galladay. He gets Henry and Devontae Parker. And there's a little background for you on who else he has on the roster. This is what you want, Jake. You ask for context. This is context up the wazoo.
As you slammed the brakes on the show.
Give Robinson. No, this is good. Give Robinson Galladay.
No, but this it only helps Grant. Sorry, everybody else.
Let me ask you this: why is nobody worried that James Robinson might run out of gas? Am I the only person?
You're drunk.
He's a rookie who came from a smaller school.
Myth.
He's getting all the carries. He's not getting any rest.
Myth.
Next question.
It's like the Madden curse. People only remember when it happens, and the revenge game and the contract year it's not anything that changes real life scenarios. People only just remember. It's confirmation bias. To go back to the trade.
All right, Renee. All right, Dr. Miller.
To go back to the trade, I would like to get Derrick Henry. It's not that bad of a deal. You have a wide receiver downgrade, but Derrick Henry, if he's healthy, has a glorious December schedule. Like what we had happen last year should happen again this year.
Jake, if you get Derrick Henry, should you also go ahead and get
Deonta Foreman?
Deonta Foreman. I'm buying up some of his football cards this week, Jake. Can you hear the click-clack?
Yes.
I'm playing with these crazy magnet things that
I know. My niece and nephew had those growing
they're
up.
awesome,
Too.
and they just like. I'll stop.
It's very limited what you can build with them, though.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed. Like they're flimsy in a way. But when you just play with them like this,
you get to a certain point and they just start falling.
Answer the question, Jake. Kirk, Kalen Ballage, or Davis at a PPR flex?
Why do you keep asking me rankings?
I don't know, because I think this is an interesting question too. Because Kirk is, well, I guess you do the flex stuff, but
Mike, no. And then the second part of this, why are you not wanting to start Mike Davis?
I don't know, Reggie Bonifant probably.
He's not even. Trenton Cannon was the one that was getting touches. Would you stop with the Bonifant?
Can't you think that Christian Kirk might be like the man?
No, you don't start him over. I don't.
Seattle? Even
if he scores more than Mike Davis, it's not the right decision.
Sam's got to follow up on that meanie thing. He just says check his tweet. He got you. He got you good. Zach Ertz on IR. He designated to return. Jake, he's practicing. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, he'll play this season. I don't know. He wasn't that great beforehand though. So, but tight end's a wasteland. You can definitely go pick up Zach Ertz. It's just I wouldn't expect more than what he was doing beforehand, which was low end tight end 1.
I know you don't like answering questions, but this guy said thank you, so I feel like we should answer it. Austin, pick 2 of these 4: Cup, Ballage, Myers, or Chark. This is a half-point PPR, which is Jake's domain.
What are you seriously?
What,
Seriously
asking?
Answer
this? Yeah, I don't know.
No, I thought you wanted to answer.
Is...
I thought you were saying you were going to answer because he said thanks.
Oh, I was going to say I think we should put this question up. Basically, I think we should answer this. Jake should answer this. If you want to run these for a while, I'll answer them, Jake. It seems like the easy part of this.
I thought you were going to have more setup questions. It depends on what he needs. The floor is with obviously you don't bench Kalen Ballage unless you're going just for pure boom or bust. Like right. Even if here's the thing, there's so much context with these things. That's why I say ask the comments because I can give it more in depth instead of taking this entire time.
We got a very special cameo coming up.
But Kalen Ballage, here's the thing with Kalen Ballage.
Yeah, go ahead.
If the rug gets pulled out, everybody's going to be like, oh, I knew it shouldn't. No, you didn't know because we didn't know he was going to be great 2 weeks in a row. You have to just play him at this point, even if the rug gets pulled out and he looks like crap this week. You can't ignore 2 games in a row of looking significantly better. So it is Ballage. And then after that, it's whether or not you want the boomer bust to Chark.
Jake, I'm in one of those leagues where I've used up all my fab money, and team's 5-5 now. We're on a slide. A lot of injuries, but I've got Troy. I got Troy Maine Pope, and I've gone through like 3 days now of fab, and I cannot get rid of him. Like he's the last guy on my bench, and I'm trying to add people, and I keep losing bids and losing bids and losing bids. So at this point,
just outright drop him.
I might just start him. No, come on, Jake. Cameo, ready? Cameo. Ready?
By the way, Jacoby Myers is the safer one. I was in the middle of answering that Chark part, but you kind of jumped in there.
I don't understand. Did I?
Yeah.
All right. Let me know when you're done.
That's it.
Cameo.
If you want.
Dennis Esser, our fantasy golf writer, one of the greatest guys in the fantasy industry.
He's talking about the trade because he's happy. I was trying to get DeAndre Hopkins from him.
And?
Returning punts this week. And I ended up being Tyreek Hill instead. I had to overpay because nobody trades anything in stupid expert leagues. This is why they get annoying and frustrating.
Don't you run expert leagues, Jake?
Yeah, but that's the worst part about them is trying to trade in them.
Why don't you decree that everyone has to make 1 trade a year in their league?
Yeah, because nobody's going to
make the rules. I think that'd be fun.
Then somebody's going to trade a defense for a defense and be like, "Look, I made a trade."
Well, just say you can't trade defenses.
No, this stop with all the rules.
I think it'd be good. Well, all right, then don't make trades.
I gave him Antonio Gibson, Judy, and Mike Williams for Tyreek Hill.
That's a lot to comprehend. I don't even know if you gave up a lot. That's just I don't feel like answering. Like we're doing that math.
And I wanted Hopkins, but he refused because he had Kyler Murray. He wanted to keep him together.
There's a question for you from Paul. By the way, follow Dennis Esser, Coach Esser. He's great. If you're into golf, he's actually really good at other stuff too. But I mean, like, if he's our golf guy.
I should actually do a tag in Dennis's column because every time I listen to him and Pat Mayo and do all the golf picks they suggest, I still get 2 golfers who don't make it through the cut. Well, every single time, despite listening to everything they say.
All right, well, that's a great plug for our golf writer, Jake. Thanks.
No, I'm saying like he's not going to hit.
Anything else you'd like to say about him?
He's not going to hit on everything. So I'm saying this is the way that the only potential bad picks Dennis might have are the ones that I pick.
Oh, here we go. R. Smith has a good question. Why is DuVernay in the thumbnail? Because I got him on the list of guys I want to talk about.
Because you won't. That's Nando's new toy.
He is. He actually. Well, you know what? Brandon Howard wrote a really good column about him on theathletic.com and made a good point. Like, they're going to have to do a little more wide receiver setting, and you're going to see a lot more wide receivers out there. And DuVernay and Proche. If you actually look at the snaps, DuVernay's, I think, 3rd among wide receivers on the season and he's creeping up on Willie Snead if you just look at the last 3 games. He's already lapped Miles Boykin, who I don't think that's going to be happening, Jake, anytime, which sucks because I was a Miles Boykin guy. But DuVernay, I mean, who knows? Maybe he gets 6-3 for 45 this week, and then next week he's like 8-7, 65-1. And then the next game after that is always like 10-8, 109-1 with Robert Griffin as quarterback. So, also I thought it was a cool picture. And also it was just very handy when I had to put a thumbnail up.
And my answer to that is he can't even make Marquise Brown relevant, so maybe 2021. And stop saying Duvernay. It's Duvernay.
Duvernay.
Thank you, John Lay.
All right, thank you.
I don't know, but is he talking to you or me?
I don't know. Probably think you, Jake. I'm not going to guess. I got to put a little more work into mine.
Pat's got like albums and stuff like records and stuff like behind him too.
This is my basement. Pat's actually got a studio.
And this is my living room. Yeah, Pat's got a studio with like a brick wall and stuff.
Here's a good question from GT Binge. Should I consider picking up a second quarterback if I'm already in the playoffs?
Yes.
Who? Would you pick up Drew Brees and wait for him to come back? I don't think I would do that.
Sure, but I don't know who else is out there.
Yeah. Here's a good question for you.
I would definitely be like, we're dealing with COVID still to this day. We're still dealing with it. And now Teddy Bridgewater got banged up, and not like you were relying on Teddy Bridgewater as your number 1 quarterback, but anybody could get hurt in any given week.
True.
That's the thing. I'll give you a perfect example. Shout out to Scott Pianowski, who did it to me. He won a championship against me in an expert league the year Johnny Manziel was a quarterback, because I was like, oh, I don't need a backup quarterback because mine's so great. Got hurt in week 15. He picked up 4 quarterbacks before the week before, and my only option was Johnny Manziel, and I lost the championship because Johnny Manziel ended up getting like 1 point something points in that game.
That's awesome. Good for Pianowski.
But I'm saying that's why you need to do it.
Strategy. Yeah. Jerry wants to know if you should start Jamison Crowder or Damian Harris.
Crowder, I don't trust. I'm not touching a backfield by Belichick if I don't have to. I know Damian Harris has been on a roll, but because it's full PPR. Jamison Crowder, how many times do I have to say it, Nando? Jamison Crowder is Terry McLaurin without the Terry McLaurin name.
You actually say that a bunch.
I know.
Yeah. In fact, like every medium we hit, you said it, I believe.
I think so.
Write someone a letter on a piece of paper.
No, here. I'll put it on a whiteboard.
Do it. Oh. We're going to write the wrong. By the way, check us out every Sunday from 11 o'clock in the morning until 12:30. It's a good show. It's a really good show. Gets you ready. If anyone has any feedback on that show, feel free to send it to us because we listen. Here's a good one. Should you stash Ruggs for any reason, Jake?
Terry equals Crow.
That doesn't make any sense to anyone.
Yes, it does.
I got a Ruggs issue myself. Like I still have him on all my teams. I can't drop him.
We talked about Ruggs 2 or 3 weeks ago. I told you the problem, what happened with Ruggs, and for Lee or whoever wasn't watching that show, I said the problem was what happened.
All right, Lee. Sorry, man. Don't worry. Jake treats our golf writers like this too. So.
No, I said if he wasn't watching that show, it wasn't a shot. So what I said on that show was Brian Edwards' loss and the Nelson Aguilar emergence hurt Henry Ruggs, because the appeal of Henry Ruggs and why I was so on him is because Edwards was going to get sacrificed to the number 1 corners as a rookie who couldn't handle it. And then most rookies can't handle number 1 corners in the NFL to that degree. So you had Edwards out there, and that's exactly what was happening for the first couple weeks. But he got hurt. Ruggs had to move outside. Aguilar became a thing playing inside, and that's what's been the downfall of Henry Ruggs. So Henry Ruggs 2021, maybe he makes some noise late, but I would say 12 deep benches. You would have to 12 teams deep benches to still hold on to him right now.
Possible league winner, Jakey?
Who did the Raiders finish?
I think a league winner is someone who goes nuts in weeks 15 and 16.
That's what I'm looking right now. Yeah. They got Jets, Colts, Chargers, Dolphins. That's not a very good schedule. The Jets are great, but then you get Colts, Chargers, and Dolphins, and the Dolphins are underrated. Chargers could bracket them, and then the Colts are a tough matchup.
I dropped my triangles. Jake, here's a question for you. Do you do any ATS picks? I don't think you're really into K-pop. Yeah, I didn't think so.
I don't have time. Plus, I don't like putting people's money on the line.
Here's a rest of season question for you that you can't get mad about because no link exists for that for you. Goddard or Engram rest of season?
I go Engram just because Ertz is coming back. And I didn't like Engram that much this year and still don't, but your boy, Daniel Jones, continues to throw to him 1 million times a game. despite the fact he keeps throwing him while he's covered and not throwing him open. That's if I gotta tell you, I know you like Daniel Jones. You like him because he runs.
Yeah.
If Daniel Jones was a decent passer, like if you put Evan Engram with that target volume with a middle of the road quarterback, like if you put him with Teddy, if Teddy Bridgewater was on the Giants and targeting Evan Engram as much as he's getting targeted, Evan Engram would be a top 5 tight end.
He's almost top 5 tight end anyway, though.
No, I mean, we're talking like Darren Waller, TJ Hawkinson,
right
on the fringe of the Kittles, like because he's getting double digits a game almost.
I know. He's impressive.
Daniel Jones is killing him. By the way, for this tonight's game,
Giants are going to win the East.
What?
Giants are going to win the East.
It's going to be so miserable.
And they're going to pull off an upset in the first round. They're coming together at the right time.
Okay, well, we timestamp that today, 11:19. You said it.
No more Mark Colombo holding them back.
I'm looking into, for everybody out there, I'm looking into this for tonight's game. I just saw something coming across Twitter before we were doing this, that Alex Collins is actually on the practice squad. He got sent back to the practice squad on Monday that nobody was talking about for the Seahawks. And because they did that, and it was the second time, he can't be called back up without signing a contract.
I thought it was 3 times.
It's the third time. Third time. Okay. So I'm looking into it, but it might just be Hyde in Dallas tonight, and that's it.
We should ask Michael Sean Dugar.
That's what I'm trying to look into it.
Just shoot him a slack and ask him. He's a good guy.
I wasn't gonna pick up the phone and like not pay attention to what you're trying to do right now.
Well, I mean, I thought like maybe all right, then we'll call the show off right now. We gotta find.
I'm just saying for everybody out there, pay attention to it because if it's just Hyde in Dallas, that's
John Burns knows what's up
in the Super Bowl.
Why not, Jake?
Like they did with the Patriots?
Yeah.
Because they don't have Eli Manning.
They got Daniel Jones.
Right.
Who, by the way, he's got to like grow his hair like Trevor Lawrence, just so he doesn't look like Eli anymore. He's got to do something because I think that's hurting his brand.
Did you see Herbert cut his?
No.
He looks like he's 12 years old now.
Well, Jake, that kind of stuff happens, man. All right. Anything else we should hit? Tua's injury? Tua showed up on the practice report with a foot injury. Are we worried about that at all?
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know.
That was yesterday. Very quietly, foot. I don't know. Devontae Adams, that ankle.
Devontae Adams might not play now.
I know. That's pretty crazy. But Alan Lazard is going to be eased back, probably.
And I wouldn't trust Mark. I don't like Marquez Valdez-Scantling as the number 1. That goes back to the whole time conversation that we've been having of whether or not the number 1 can be able to take over the number 1 spot against Indy. So I tell you what, I would definitely downgrade Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers is actually one. I was pulling this up yesterday, and I was shocked by this. It was because we were talking about Tom Brady on the ranking show, talking about that Tom Brady struggles under pressure, which people know. That's a well-known thing. So I was looking where Tom Brady ranks, and he was like 26th or 7th, actually alongside of like Daniel Jones and Mitchell Trubisky. But you know who's one of the 5 worst?
Who?
Aaron Rodgers.
Interesting.
Aaron Rodgers' worst game of the season, no touchdowns, 100 and something yards and 2 picks, Tampa Bay, which is a top 5 get after the quarterback defense. Indy, top 10, gets after the quarterback. No Devontae Adams. I'm just saying, you might be worried about starting Aaron Rodgers this week.
That's I mean, but who has if you got Aaron Rodgers, you don't have a backup quarterback.
I do.
Who?
I'll tell you. Hold on.
I can't tell if this guy's flipping you off or pointing to a comment above. What does that look like to you, Jake?
That's a middle finger.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
I think we've been pretty milquetoast.
Thanks, David.
We got to wrap it up anyway. Remember, these are going to be 7 minutes. Like, we'll do some 7-minute videos in and out. It'll be fun.
That went away week 1. Oh, so my backup for Aaron Rodgers is Tua.
Oh, who's got a bad foot? You're screwed.
I'm looking right now. I can't find the news on Tua. I'm looking for it.
There's a sea of these magnetic triangles by my feet. That I'm gonna
Maybe that's why he's flicking you off. He doesn't want to hear your triangles anymore.
I think he does. Jake, Elon wants to know how your dog's doing.
She's good. She's napping right now.
All right,
she's
good news, man.
The medicine's made her a little weird, but she's 95% back. If we're doing like injury reports, 95%. I've got to give her this little medicine every single. That's the thing is I got 2 medicines. I got to put her on Prilosec and this so she doesn't have acid reflux come up where the cut was.
All right. Nice.
And I got to give her this squirt stuff, which she hates because it squirts it into her throat. So it kind of freaks her out, but it's like Pepto-Bismol. So it coats the throat.
It's the most nuanced answer you've given today, Jake. Let's finish it off with a question from Philip Mike. This is a good one. What's the most avoidable mistake you see owners make this time of year?
There's a lot of mistakes they make. So not what we talked about before, not having a backup quarterback, backup tight end, not looking at the playoffs. Don't overrate the playoffs. For people like Dalvin Cook, stop with the, should I trade away Dalvin Cook? Have you seen the schedule? Some players are elite. He's Dalvin Cook because it's Dalvin Cook.
And look what happened to the Raiders this week. They lost 10 players because of COVID. They're going into that game with a terrible defense. People get hurt.
I would say it's the biggest thing is like not looking ahead. And then this isn't a mistake, but what Scott did, but for all things, like if you're looking at a team and you're getting close to the playoffs and you look at who your team is facing and see like maybe they have a bad matchup and there's somebody on the waiver wire that could help them that won't help you, but you just play keep away. Use your bench at this point now. Your bench should have 2 things on it. High upside replacements. Actually 3 things. Potentially your backup running back and guys that can help somebody else.
Nice.
You don't need a wide receiver 6 right now. You're done. We're almost done with the buys. You don't need them anymore.
Agreed. Get rid of Sterling Shepard.
No. Get rid of Darius Slayton.
Oh, well, all right. Well, he got hurt anyway, so I don't know how long lasting that is. Anyway, thank you all for joining us. Jakey and I got to go. We got to accompany all hands, and it's very important that we attend. So good luck tonight. May Christian Kirk run through all your lineups with 30-plus points. We're right there with you.
If Tyler Lockett plays, does he score more?
No.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Have a good one. Happy week before Thanksgiving.